Hey you guys, it's your girl Key coming back at you with another story. But this time it's a true crime. It's not one of my personal stories, it is a true crime story. So let's get into it. So in today's story, we're going to be talking about a family named the Bender family. Yes. So apparently these people were batshit crazy. We're just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. Yes, they were very crazy. So the Bender family. So apparently the parents, because there was a father, William, who they later found out was actually originally from Germany, named William Flickner, something like that. I believe I'm saying that right, Flickner. The wife, Elvira Bender, the mama, the daughter Kate Bender, and the son John Jr. So now the parents are believed to be in their late 50s, early 60s. The kids are believed to be, I believe it was 23 and 20. So okay, let's get into it. So this is gonna be crazy because this story actually ends with a big twist. You gotta stay to the end because this story ends with a twist. So let's get into it. So okay, apparently in 1870, the father and son came to America. They came to Kansas, what is now Kansas, to a county called Labette County, in a town called Osage. So apparently there was this very popular trail that went through there that was called the Great Osage Trail. So these people acquired 160 acres and they set up homestead right off of this trail. They built a cabin facing this trail. So basically when travelers would come through, you know, the same way you drive down the highway now and you look off to the side, you can see the gas stations and stuff as you pass exits, or if you're getting off of an exit, you know, you can see the lights in the gas stations and stores and stuff. You know, you're getting off somewhere, you can use the restroom, take a break, all that good stuff. Okay, so keep in mind, this is in the 1800s, so it's not like these people had cars and they was there in a few hours or a few minutes. These were very long, hard travels to make back in these days. So this family set up this cabin right off of this trail, as I say. So they originally separated it. It is said that they used a wagon cover to separate the house into two rooms. The back part of the house they actually lived in, and the front part they set up as a kind of an inn for a guest to come. So originally they put out a sign that said grocery, which was badly misspelled. I couldn't get the picture of that. I really wanted to get that picture, but I couldn't get a picture of the actual inn itself. However, I did get a few pictures of the family. I will be inserting those into the video. But so 1870, like I say, the son and dad comes from Germany. They settle down in Kansas. They get all this land. They off of a major trail that is very popular with travelers. They set up this inn. The mother and daughter don't actually come into the fall of 1871. So it's really finna get popping. So between 1871 and 1872, 11 people went missing that they know of, or rather should I say 11 bodies were found within the area, and the Bender family inn is the last place that these people were known to have been. So it's easily suspected that it's them, right? For some reason though, you know, killing people and dumping bodies don't seem to get a lot of attention. I don't know if it's because, well, it did say that, I guess, you know, we can keep in mind that it did say only 5 families had settled in the area at the time. And if they had 160 acres of land, I can only assume that the other five families had just as much land. So they probably weren't really close to each other. However, people were going missing. People were going missing at a high number of rate to where travelers actually started to avoid this trail. So it is said that the mother and father had very strong German accents and that they did not speak good English at all. That is what was said of them. They said that the man was always very quiet. He was thought of to be illiterate. or whatever. He did not communicate good. He barely really talked to people at all. The mom, however, they said she was very, very mean. She didn't speak good English, but she was very, very mean. They say she didn't speak good English, because hold on, we're gonna get into that. The kids, however, Kate and John Jr., these two were highly intelligent. They were said to be good looking, I guess for their time period, whatever. They were thought of to be very good looking young people, and they spoke very fluent English. John, they said you could hear John Jr.'s accent, German accent, but he still spoke good English. And it said that Kate really didn't have an accent at all. So just talking to her on her own, you probably would not know that she was from another country. Anyways, let's get into, what really set it off. So, as I stated, between 1871 and 1872, really the number calculated was about 20 to 22 people actually went missing. But they only found 11 of the bodies. 11 bodies turned up along this trail around this time. So, what really set this into motion is that in 1872, a man named George Newton Longcore left with an infant, headed to Iowa to relocate. So a former friend of his, after so long, when he didn't make it, they didn't have telephones and GPS and all that stuff back then. So this friend and neighbor of his, this Dr. York, he was waiting for some type of letter or telegram to say, hey, we made it, we're safe, we're relocating in this area, blah, 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 have a good life. I don't know, whatever they would have said to each other. When nothing ever came, nobody ever heard from him, seen of him again, anything, he went looking for him, because keep in mind, this guy leaving with his infant told the good doctor the trail he was going to take, the way that he was going to go or intended to go to get to Iowa. So he went and started basically following along the trail. So far he has a picture of the man and the baby. He's showing it to different people. He's asking people about them, and people are saying, yes, I seen them come through, or yes, they were here, blah, blah, blah. So this trail leads all the way to where? The Bender Inn. Okay, all right. So this doctor, now keep in mind, he's a doctor. Doctors don't go missing so easily without it being noticed. Not back then, not now, probably never. Okay, this is a doctor. People are looking for him because they get sick, they need shit to be fixed, they need medicine. They are going to be looking for this doctor. All right, just ain't finna go so good. So this is what really blows the shit up. Okay, the good doctor. So when he gets to the Bender Inn, the people actually admit that, yeah, he was there. And they tell him that they think that the Indians may have killed him, because it was a bad problem with people being killed by Indians. As we know from the history books, they tell us that the travelers back then would often be attacked by Indians, probably because y'all came over here and attacked them too. We're not gonna get into that. Anyway, we're not here for that story. We're here for this story. Stick to it. So anyways, if you wonder what I'm looking at, I had to take notes, because I've never heard of this crazy family or these crimes, so I had to take some notes. So that's what I got, a whole lot of paper and going on, anyways, so let me tell you, right? So apparently, for whatever reason, the good Dr. York, he never left. Yes, when he made it to the Bender Inn, that was the last damn place he went, looking for his friend and his baby. He never left the place. Can you believe it? I can. I mean, let's be real. A whole lot of people don't seem to be leaving their place. That seems to be the stopping point. If you stop there, you stop for good. It's your final stop. You won't go past go, collect 200, none of that. You done, apparently. So apparently the good doctor had two older brothers, right? So one of the brothers actually lived in a town that was right before you get to these Bender family people in the town of Osage, right? So where he lived, because he knew his brother was going there, he went into town and started looking for him. They told him that they had seen his brother. Now, the Bender family initially denied seeing the brother there. Okay? The oldest brother, this brother was actually a Civil War veteran. He had been a colonel, and he, at the time of his brother going missing, he was actually in the state senate for Kansas. Now you see how this is really finna get popping. So, middle brother comes back, or rather sends message to big brother that, hey, baby brother is missing. And last place he was seen was at these people's house. But they're saying that they haven't seen him. And not to mention, other people that went there previously went missing from their end. So, big brother comes down. He brings a company of 50 men. Keep in mind, this is the 1800s. So when they say company, what they really mean are soldiers. There is no company. These are soldiers. These are men that are coming ready to fight on the colonel's behalf. Y'all got his baby brother. Oh, y'all got the colonel fucked up. Okay, so the colonel comes down. This is where the shit really just gets popping. Like, I don't know why they couldn't. If they would have just waited and let the shit blew over, maybe they would probably still been there killing for years to come. Who knows? But they really did need to get caught, because I mean, damn. So apparently the colonel comes down with these men. He is not bullshitting in any kind of way. Where's my brother? I already know he's been here. We're not asking you. I'm asking you, where is he? I want to know, and I want to know now. So at this point, the Bender family, once again, mom, pop, blah, 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 I don't know, blah, 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 because they're still acting like, oh, I can't speak good English. Now, it's never been said anything about the father speaking too much of anything to anybody, period, so he probably really could not speak good English. All right. So, apparently, the family admitted that, yes, the doctor was here. He left. And just like with his friend, what they say, the Indians possibly killed them. It's a possibility. Now, keep in mind, the colonel has these 50 men with him. So they are ready to, like, just hang the whole family. Like, fuck it. I know y'all did it. We just gonna go ahead and trial, convict right here. You're gonna hang for it, okay? However, the colonel was a man of the law. We don't have evidence of that. We don't have proof. We don't have a confession. There's no body. We can't just hang these people. And then a week or two from now, my brother comes walking in the house like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, no. Can't just hang these people. So, the colonel insists on doing this the correct way. So, what happens? What do these crazy-ass Bender family do? Keep in mind, at this point, they running a whole inn in the front part of their house. Like, they're actually having guests come stay the night. Supposedly a safe spot for travelers. You can get a hot meal and things. Now, it is said that if you went into their house for mealtime, they always wanted the guests to sit at a particular spot at the dinner table. This spot at the dinner table, remember I told you they separated the house into two parts by a wagon cover. So the part they always wanted you to sit at was actually right there by the wagon cover. Apparently there was a slit in that cover that they could walk through right there at that point in it. So they always wanted the guests to sit there. Now, it was later discovered that there was actually a trap door under the chair where they wanted the guests to sit. They always insisted. So about 2 days after the colonel leaves with his men or whatever, ready to kill their ass, these people have a woman, some travelers come. It's a woman. She's there for dinner. She's supposed to stay the night, leave in the morning. So they insisted on her sitting at the table. She sat down for a minute, and then she got the strong, I guess, like, she could feel that, like, somebody, you know how you get the sense that, like, oh, okay, wait, somebody's, like, watching me or right behind me or something I just don't see. So she left. In the process of her leaving, the mom got mad and actually got up and chased her out of the house and down the trail a little bit with knives. So once she got to town and reported this, you already know the colonel came right back. So at this point, they're not playing around. So now they're pissed. They want to know what's up. For whatever reason, they did not take these people into custody or go ahead and arrest. I don't know. They didn't take them. They allowed them to stay there. So they left, and pretty much they went and had a town meeting where they had a town meeting, first of all, over in another town. They didn't have it in the same town. So in this other town over, which is the town that the middle brother stayed in. Remember I told you he stayed in a town that was right before you got to this Osage town. Everybody in that town was saying that basically those 5 families that were out there were responsible for all those people going missing. They felt like the whole community of Osage was responsible for killing these travelers. Not just this one family, the entire community out there, all 5 families, right? That was not the case. Nobody else had trapdoors and bodies and all this and going on, okay? So a few days go by because apparently some bad weather came through. It says inclement weather. Don't you just love that word? Yeah. So apparently they had bad weather and they were not able, because warrants were given to the colonel to go back out and actually officially arrest these people and bring them to court to stand trial. However, because of the inclement weather, they were not able to make it back out to their farm. A few days later, someone going past the farm just happened to realize that it had been abandoned, that the house was completely empty. A lot of animals were either unfed or missing and things. So they go out there and they start investigating. The man come back, report that. So the colonel and his men and also some other citizens from the other town over come out to Osage, to the Bender family farm, and start to investigate. So this is where they find the trapdoor that's under the hold on, wait a minute, because I'm missing something. So remember when they came back, this is when we find out that the mother can speak good English, because when they came back to the house the second time, the mother, that's the reason that they ended up leaving. The mother actually started speaking good English. It is said that she started to curse their ass out and told them that that lady was a witch and that she had tried to put a curse on her and her family. So hell yeah, she chased her out the house with a knife, and that they had better get their ass out of her house too. Now that's what it say, that in so many words, that's basically what it say. She told them in very clear English, not German, not a broken X, straight clear English. So she speak English. I just had to bag up and throw that in there because I skipped over for a minute. That's my bag, But yes, she can speak English. So now we know the gig is up, my girl. You could talk. So okay, they go through the property. Now remember I told you they had already found about 11 bodies up and down the trail already. So when they start digging around, they actually find the good doctor himself is buried in their garden, because these people had planted like a 2-acre garden on this land. Remember, they got 160 acres. That's a lot of land, and they planted 2 acres of garden. Well, that's a lot of food and stuff that they can produce that can further help them to sell groceries and provide meals and stuff to the travelers that are coming through. So this is their money. However, now we see what they're fertilizing the plants with, huh? Make you wonder about the next time you buy some fruit out the store. Damn. I really wish I wouldn't have thought about that. Dang, I wish I wouldn't have thought about that. But yeah, okay, anyway, let's go on with the story. Dang. So shit. Man, when you really think about it, how you know that they... Well, we're not gonna get into it. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, back on topic. So anyway, they find a good doctor buried first. So people are starting to gather around because the military men and some of the people from the other town over have started to look. So you have people coming from everywhere that are coming down to look for this. This has hit, the story has hit all the way back up in New York City. So it is said that you have reporters actually coming from New York City and Chicago at the time, coming to try to get pictures and reports of what's going on here in Kansas, right? So that really hit. That's almost like, I ain't gonna say it. But anyway, So they find 8 more bodies. So it's a total of 9 bodies that they found on the property. They found the trap door. There was also, for some reason, one of the mattresses that was in the back part of the living quarters of their house had blood all around it. When they lift the mattress up, they noticed that there was also a trap door down there. There was a man inside of there, and there were several different body parts that they eventually realized all belonged to different people. So you get drilled. Here go basically another 20 more people on their land, or at least body parts, because they didn't find the whole person with them parts that was in that. Anyway, so keep in mind, this trap door, if you're sitting at the dinner table and you're above this trap door, if they release that trap door and you fall down through it, you're more than likely going to die, because you're dropping from the first floor down into the floor of the basement. It's not like it's about to happen. And the fact that you're sitting, that means that the chair is probably coming down on top of you. It's probably going to bust you in the head, probably knock you unconscious. You probably hit your head, mouth, anything when you first drop down anyway. I mean, this is not a good thing. And then once again, this is not in today's time where there's sheetrock and things going up. It's probably damp, wet, there are probably mice, anything, you never know. So this was just not a good thing for these travelers coming through that unfortunately met their end with these people. So it is said that the townspeople were so enraged once they finished finding those bodies on that property that there was a man in the crowd that they knew had been friends with the Bender family. They actually hung him, cut him down, revived him, questioned him, hung him again, cut him down again, revived him, questioned him some more, and then hung him up one more time. After the third time they hung him, they cut him down, they actually released him and let him go home. So they mad. So the following day, they are going out trying to find these people. Keep in mind, these people have been gone for a very long time. So they believe that the people had either died or been caught and killed in other ways. So for some reason, this man, it didn't list his name. It just said a captain from the Civil War, from wherever he was from. It didn't have a lot of information on him. Just some captain somewhere claimed that he had traced the daughter and son down to New Mexico, where he found out that the son had died of basically his heart burst. Nobody knew anything about where the daughter went, or the parents. They found their horse and buggy that they took off on close to New Mexico or whatever. So, hey. Now, the story does not end there, because this happened in 1870. 1872 is when all this started to go down. It was around 1873 when all this actually stopped. So, now we get into the next part of it, which is the Kelly family. And I had to put these two together because, I mean, come on. Once I insert these pictures, you're going to see why I'm saying this needed to go together. Like, I don't understand how they didn't put 2 and 2 together. So, about maybe 15 years later, about 15 years later, in 1887. So, this takes place in what is now Oklahoma City, Kansas. So apparently this family comes out of nowhere. They claim that they came from Pennsylvania. Okay, they claim that they came from Pennsylvania. They actually came and settled down, and pretty much the exact same thing. They settled down near this great trail, with all these travelers coming through. They opened up, they built cabins and stuff. They opened up taverns and restaurants, all this. They like went all out, hey, stop here. So pretty much as soon as these people settled down, so the father, William, because apparently John Bender was originally William John Flickner, and then somehow went from that to John Bender when he got to America. Okay, so now it is William Kelly, the wife, who happens to, for some reason, look exactly like Miss Elmira Bender, named Kate Kelly. Okay. The daughter Kit and the son Billy. So here goes this thing about that. The parents are around the same age, late 50s, early 60s. Well, at this point, they're thinking that they're in their 60s at this point. So the kids, it is said that they were 18 and 20. So that kind of throws the authorities off. At this point, you see, if you look at the pictures, you'll see that the son has actually cut off his mustache. But he still looks exactly the same. I guess he did that to make himself look younger, or just to get the police off his back. I don't know. Either way, people did not put two and two together. But at the same time, this is not during a time of like television or a bunch of like cell phones or pictures really being taken. It took a lot for them to even take one picture back in those days. So a lot of people didn't even have photos, and there just was a big lack of communication and people actually knowing things about you. It was way too easy back in those days to basically pick up and come somewhere new and just completely reinvent yourself. Okay, they could be whoever the hell they wanted to be once they got to the next state or the next city over. I mean, so keep that in mind. So this family comes here, they set up pretty much the same setup. They have that trap door with the wagon cover separating the house into two parts. There is a trap door, once again, under where they want the visitors to sit at. Now, it is said that they pretty much would engage the visitors. It was not quite as rough as it was the first time around, where they just like sit here now, and this is where you're gonna stay, and then you just never move from that spot again. This family, this time around, was a little bit smoother about it, but you gotta keep in mind, y'all almost got y'all ass caught, and you're getting older. So I guess you're getting a little smarter about the way that you commit these crimes, because obviously you're not going to just stop on your own of committing these crimes. So you got a little bit smoother. What they call it, crafting the technique, as they say. Ain't that some shit? You got a technique. You know you crazy if you got a technique to kill people. You is really crazy. But anyway, so this family had this trap door, so it is said that they would actually engage you in very intelligent conversation. The father, very quiet man, really hardly said a word, had a very strong accent, couldn't really understand him, so he hardly ever spoke to any of the guests. He would just nod, or you might get a hello or a goodbye out of him. That was it. See what I'm saying? However, for some reason, there were no pictures of William Kelly. Nope, no pictures. Where he was not letting nobody take pictures of him. I assume he had sense enough to say, hey, nah, y'all not gonna get my picture this time around. You're not gonna get my picture and hold it up to that wanted poster of me, because there was a $2,000 reward out for these people captured. That, of course, remember the colonel, who was also the state senate, yes, or in the state senate, he put out this $2,000 reward for the Bender family, for the entire family. So keep that in mind. So that's probably the reason the father never allowed anybody to take his picture. The mother, however, looks exactly the same. The son and daughter looks exactly the same. So just the son don't have the what you call it, mustache anymore. Okay, so apparently, y'all, these people just ain't gonna stop. Just not gonna stop. Yeah. So, okay. Apparently, in December of 1887, a man from St. Louis that was named S.T. Gregg, he had visited this tavern before. He decided that he was going to stop there during his travels again. So he stops by the tavern. But for some reason, when he gets there, the tavern is just completely abandoned. Like, the people are just gone. Like, they just picked up and left. So it's a foul stench that's hitting him in the nose. Like, hey, what the hell is that smell? So he follows the smell down to a cellar that is under the house. I know, right? Like their signature thing of people being under the house. So he goes down there. He finds 3 men that are already like badly decomposed. Okay, so he notifies the authority. This time around, the authorities come right out with search parties. Like they're ready to find them. Okay, we can't let this go on in our town. So they instantly start to follow their trail. They were actually lucky enough to catch up to them. So during the chase, the mother, Kate Kelly, aka Elmira Bender, yes, apparently she fell from her horse and broke her neck in the process of this chase. So she was the first one to die, and apparently it was quick. Like, snap, you're out of here, sister. Your killing ass is done. So they continue to chase the kids and the father. So the father is ahead. Apparently, for somehow, whatever reason, they were able to catch the son and daughter. So apparently they were caught. They were surrounded. They were snatched off their horses. They were prepared to be hung. The sister started to plead, and she was about to tell everything. But the brother was like, oh no, hell no. Fuck that. Let them find out on their own. You better not say a goddamn word. Keep your lips shut, bitch, and just get hung in fucking peace and shut your ass up. That's it. Don't say a goddamn word to these people. Just let them kill us, and we're never going to tell. And that is exactly what happened, because they were given about a minute or two to go ahead and confess. They hung the brother. The sister still did not confess. They hung her ass. They kept going. Well, no, there were already, because there were apparently a lot of them that came out looking for them. So half of the people that stopped to hang them, the other half was still riding on behind the father. So by the time they got done hanging them and kept riding on, they came right on up, probably a mile or two on down from where they just hung the son and daughter at. So now you got just about the whole family. So they found the father. So just like in Osage, they hung him, cut him down, revived him. He confessed to... First, he claimed that it was just a family. Yes, they just a bunch of murdering SOBs. I had nothing to do with this. These people just went crazy and started killing people. They hung his ass again. Stop playing with me, bro. Okay? So they hung his ass again, cut him down again, revived his ass, and then was like, okay, you wanna fix that story? You wanna tell the truth? Or we got all night. We can hang your ass 1,000 times and fucking revive you if that's what you want to do. But the faster you tell the truth, the faster we'll stop torturing your ass. So at that point, he confesses to every single crime that they have committed. And I mean crimes, like going way back. He admits that they are not really from Pennsylvania, that they actually lived in Oklahoma before, that they were killing people here before. So that furthermore goes to the family, to the fact that this is actually the Bender family, aka Kelly family now. Yes, okay. They finally getting their due justice. Murder is not the answer, but at the same time, these were some very murderous people, the entire family, so they pretty much got what they deserved. So apparently, let's talk about it. The son and daughter. So everywhere that they went, when they were the Bender family, it was thought to have believed it was believed that the son and daughter were not actually son and daughter, but husband and wife. When they were the Kelly family in what is now called Oklahoma City, once again, people around always assumed that they were not sister and brother, rather husband and wife. Now, let's talk about it. We have to go back to the Bender family for a minute, because Miss Elmira, apparently, she was married several times in Germany before she ever met Paul Bender, as they called him, or William Flickner. So, prior to her meeting him, she had been married like 7 different times, and she had kids from each of these marriages. The husbands, nobody knows what the hell happened to any of her husbands. She would get married one day, have a kid another day, next day he's missing, she's getting married next week to somebody else. Like, this was her record. Just go missing with this one. You're missing. You mess up, you going missing. Ain't nobody gonna see you no more, so don't piss her off now. So, okay. Well, when she met the man William John Flickner, who became John Bender when he got to the U.S. Like, whole name just completely changed, right? So apparently he had a son already from a previous marriage. Nobody knows what happened to his wife either. Very suspicious. So you can see that these two are just meant to connect. It's like, yeah, you killed enough husbands and you finally came up on another motherfucker that's killing people too. So hey, I guess y'all gonna get together, get married, and y'all just gonna be a family of freaking killers, because that's what the hell they were. So it is said that Kate Bender, or Kit Kelly, she was actually the fifth daughter of Miss Elmira. She was the daughter from her fifth marriage, and for some reason this is the only child. Apparently she had all boys in her other marriages. This is the only daughter that she had. She left those boys with family members back in Germany. The girl is the only child that she took with her, which is Kate Bender, aka Kit Kelly. Okay, all right. So that further just goes toward what people were thinking, that they could have possibly been husband and wife, because technically they were not actually brother and sister. And if they were already grown when their parents met, there's no telling, apparently they already messed up in the head. So there was no obvious, this is my stepsister or brother. They just, I don't know. But anyway, yes, y'all. So this is the story. They did, after the father went on ahead and confessed and told everything, like, that was not actually his daughter, and that he didn't actually confirm or deny that the son and daughter were messing with each other or married or whatever else, but he did confirm that that was actually his wife's daughter and that was his son, though were not each other kids. But that was about it. He did confess to all the crimes and killings that they did. He finally admitted the last time that they revived him that he had participated in the crimes too. So he was hung for a final time, and he was left to hang there. And the entire family, pretty much, other than Kate Kelly, aka Elmira Bender, other than her, the other three, their bodies were left to hang, and they remained there for about a year or so, hanging in the trees where they died. They just hung them, and that's where they had stayed. The lady, of course, they drug her back to town, buried her, and that was pretty much it. But yes, y'all, if you have enjoyed this true crime story, which I kind of enjoyed doing it, I have to admit it did get very interesting. But if you have enjoyed this story, please give me a thumbs up, like the video, share, subscribe, so that you'll know every time I put out a video. And until next time, peace.